Yeah, NBA Straya, how are you going? There you go. I hope you're all right. You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Tuesday. Who doesn't love a Tuesday? Me, for one. I'll tell you that. October 29, all day. And I'm your host, James Clements. You can see my ugly mug on the panel, the official NBL Supercoach show. You can see me on the AFL Today show. And, of course, NFL Straya, which I've been hastily putting together in the background today going, wow, there's 11 NBA games and an NFL game. And I've got meetings because work, and here I am. Chaos ensues. Anyway, I am here in the Sports Today studio, aka the James Clements Excellence in Podcasting Memorial Studio, here to very, very briefly break down today's games. And this is what we're going to try to do for these Tuesday shows. We're going to try to do everything super quick. Just going to go bang, 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 bang. And still deliver all the NBA Straya goodness you deserve, which is lots, I assume. Anyway, we're going to still do That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball. We'll do an award, I think, with the Shane Hill Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up award today, and we'll pick and preview the games tomorrow. Luckily, there's only 4, so that's good. So we're about to preview all that. So we'll smash all the game wraps pretty quick, then dig in so you sort of come away still knowing what has happened. As promised, though, tomorrow is also going to be a fun one because we're going to wrap the first week and sort of look at where every team is standing after 1 week, which would be kind of fun. But for today, I don't know, 11 games. Let's bloody well dig in. It's a big one, but it's going to be a quick one. Hooray! Let's do it. Episode 1142 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
The worst of days!
This is Jack.
Whoa.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Ants.
Just
This
pause
is
it.
Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek.
This is Mick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq Attack!
You better, especially because it's still Shaq season. Just for a dude who's that big, I can't imagine Shaq season be a good season to spend anywhere near Shaq. Like, just producer Gerald, those farts could it'd empty a room, wouldn't it? Just Shaq eating a lot of pepperoni. I just feel like that's just a bad combo. Anyway, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with a daily. It's a whip around. I think I did that whip crack pretty well. I'm just saying that was a really good one. Anyway, one of my favorite topics so far this NBA season, the D Wade statue. So we sort of talked about it in yesterday's show, and I very much enjoyed that conversation. It's like, how the fuck have we screwed up statues so badly where it's like the fucking Romans sorted that shit out. The ancient Greeks, they were doing that shit like fucking thousands of years ago. And we've got all the technology in the world and we've got a motherfucking D Wade statue that comes out looking like Lawrence Fishburne. You're like, what the fuck just happened? The best part is, since that happened, the fallout, D Wade's like, I've got some thoughts. And he said, what we wanted to do was capture a moment that represented the organization, represented myself, and represented the city. We felt like we captured that moment in artistic form, in an artistic way. If I wanted it to look like me, I would just stand outside the arena. Y'all would take photos. It don't need to look like me. It's an artistic version of a moment that happened. Okay, I call fucking bullshit. That's just, you've got a bung-ass statue and now you're covering your ass. Because, as I said on yesterday's show, if you want it to be an artistic representation of a moment, that's fucking fine. But you've tried to make it look like D Wade and it's just fucking shit. Like, let's all just be honest. We're all grown-ups. Just go, yep, we fucked the statue. Don't be like, nah, it's an artistic rendering. It's an idealized version. No, it's not. You just made it and it fucking sucks. My favorite part on top of that has been like everybody being like, oh, well, the Michael Jordan statue doesn't look at the Shaq face. Look at the Magic Johnson. Yeah, all the statues are fucked. Why? That's my biggest problem. They're all shit. How do we not have better statues? Like, is it an American thing? Like, I feel like the Warney one and shit outside the G aren't like Donald Bradman. Like, they're fucking fine, aren't they? What are we doing? It's fucked in their head. Statues, sort your shit out. But the thing is, like, D Wade saw the statue apparently like 4 times. By the third one, don't you go, is this it? Like, is this how it's going to fucking look? Because that's not me. Like, it doesn't look like me. As I said, if you were fucking building a statue of me outside this studio, which will probably happen, and it just looked like, I don't know, fucking Shane Warne with a beard, I'd be like, that doesn't look like me at all. It's substantially handsomer, but has a beard. It's just another fat sporting legend, but that's how it goes. Anyway, it was fucked. It was weird. Like, there's even photos of his IG of like looking at the fucking statue right in the face. I'm like, how are you not sitting there going, dude, can we fucking fix this? It's bonkers. Anyway, whatever. It's just, I think there's a realm upon which you can go, an artistic version of D Wade, it could look sick. That just looks fucking weird and shithouse, right? Like the Shaq one is like, even the MJ one, right? So the idealized version of MJ is like the fucking pose. It's beautiful. It looks awesome. That statue's incredible. Even the Shaq one, he's like fucking tearing down a rim. The Kobe like fucking pose, pretty cool. The D Wade pose is cool, but the idealized version of it is like, but you can see his face and it's fucked. What are you doing? Fix your statues. Anyway, hey, the players of the week are announced as AD and Tatum. No one cares. It's been like 4 days. It's like, why is fantasy, like, I had, you know, the fucking week 1 of fantasy is all done. I'm like, that was like 4 days of games. At least I fucking won. Jesus, but still. Anyway, it was AD and Tatum. Other bits of news. So, as I said, we're smashing through this one. He says, after a 5-minute statue rant to go on top of yesterday's 5-minute statue rant. Taylor Hendricks snapped his leg. Don't go and watch this one. Just forewarning, do not look this one up. It's fucked. Fractured right fibula and dislocated ankle. That's one of those ones where it's like, oh, he snapped his fucking leg open and across and off. Gross. It was like non-contact. You sort of just fell over it. It's like, oh, fucking nope. Ugh. Anyway, poor Taylor Hendricks. That sucks. So all his teammates were just like, yeah, that's, ooh, gross. Steph Curry out for a couple of games with a left perineal strain. Not to be confused with the perineum. If he strained that and if he had 2 games, that checks out. Don't Google that either. It's all Evan Fournier. Jay Huff. You might have heard about me. I talked about him on the weekend wrap, I think. He was really good for the Grizzlies to the point where they're like, fuck, you're really good. You're a 2-way dude. Yeah, we're just going to give you like a 4-year contract, which is great. So good on Jay Huff. He's a weapon. Joel Embiid, you might have seen him, because he doesn't play. Remember? Joel Embiid? Yeah, big fella. Was shit in the Olympics. Waved a towel. Because that's all he does at the moment. Former MVP. Hanging out, waving a towel on the baseline. And the refs are like, hang on. I think that's actually against the rules. He got assessed a technical foul upon league office review. So this is the thing. What happens now? He's just got a tech. Should the opposition just get like a free point at some point? I want that in my back pocket. Like if I'm playing the Sixers at some point this year, it's like, oh, that one free point from that tech. Can we take that shot now? Like, I actually like this idea. Like, which would be the first team to take it? Because you know it'd be the next team. But at the same time, whoever they were playing, who'd they play in that game? I think it was, I actually had that written down too. But it was the Pacers. So when the Pacers play the Sixers again, they should be able to choose when they get a free point. Or at least a free throw as a tech foul, right? That's awesome. That seems fair. It's a fucking against the rules. Sucked in, dickhead. Sucked in. Finally, promise this on the socials. Hey, Ben Simmons is already ruled out of tomorrow's game with lower back injury management. Can we insert some jokes here, producer Gerald? AKA they looked and they couldn't find a spine. They looked and there was no heart. No, it's all right. It's 3 games in the season. We're already doing load managing. That's fine because you're being cautious. I'm actually okay with this. But by the fucking same token, really? 3 games into the season? I know, look, I'm no medical doctor, not anymore. But Ben Simmons has obviously dealt with lower back stuff, so it's probably fucking fine. I kind of feel like at least the Sixers, when they're like, hey, they cop a lot of shit for the Joel Embiid. He's not going to play back-to-backs kind of shit. The Nets are kind of like, yeah, we'll be cautious with Simo's injury. And again, I've talked about this before. I don't fuck with backs. Backs, they're there to be smashed out or like, piggybacked. But back injuries, I don't fuck with them. So if the Nets are like, look, this is what it does, what we need to do to keep him fucking, healthy, good, vibing. It might also because he passed up that other fucking layup after getting the ball back against the Bucks and looked like a coward. I don't know. Who knows? But he just didn't want to go back out there in front of all those fans because he might hurt his feelings. So, I don't know. Broken heart? No heart? Spineless? You be the judge. I think it's just being cautious with his injury, which is fine. Hey, let's do some game wraps. We're going to speed through these, speed edition. Game wraps. Indy lost in Orlando. So I had Orlando in this one. This was a sick game because Balabangaro dropped 50 and 37 in the first half. It was sick. How did Indy get back into this game though, Jim? Well, he fucking scored 1 point in the third quarter. You're like, Jesus, buddy, what's going on? He might have actually gotten more in the end, but I was, doing other shit. So in the first half, though, he had 37, 7, and 6. Bloody hell. Pacers came out and went whack in that third quarter. Just eventually sort of like wrested control back, did Orlando. And Paolo down the stretch, got to his 50, kept missing fucking free throws. And you're like, dude, you're just letting them back into it. But Halliburton hit a pretty big three late to give them a bit of a crack, but it was just a little bit too much and a little bit too, especially on a team like what the Pacers had played yesterday against the Sixers. So it's always going to be a bit of a tough one. 26 for Siakam. Good to see him hit a pretty handy bit of form. But that's the Siakam experience, right? 26 one night, 19 the other, 24 13. It's like, you're like a better Tobias Harris. I'll get to him later. Halliburton had 19, 9, and 10. Again, very similar vibes. It's just like they need a little bit something. Anyway, the Magic men, Paolo Banchero, 50, 13, and 9. I'll get back to him later, but it was pretty bloody good. The best one was Jalen Suggs, though. 25 points for him. Absolutely crushed it. And Anthony Black, their second-year young point guard dude, hit 2 huge threes down the stretch. The only threes he hit for the game. He was massive. 11 and 10 for Wendell. And away they go. Big win for Orlando. You've got to take care of games like this. And this is an indie team that's now 1 and 3. Orlando are 3 and 1. This is how the Magic should be going. This is their trajectory. But more impressive, I'm going to talk more about Paolo in a second, but this was awesome. What a fucking statement game this was, I'll tell you. Hey, Washington beat Atlanta because, of course, they did. 121-119. Weird game. Dyson Daniels is like, hey, Jordan Poole, I'm going to wreck your shit. And Jordan Poole's like, this sucks. I do not like this at all. Kuzma couldn't hit a shot until he could. And then he went fucking flying. It was incredible. He started knocking in threes. Like, oh, shit, Washington are actually going to win this. And they did. First win of the season. It's because Trae Young couldn't buy a shot. He even had a chance to win the fucking game at the end and did what he did all game and missed it because he shot 2 of 13 for the game. 2 of 15. I couldn't even believe myself when I was reading it. 2 of 15. He went 2 of 10 from downtown, including the one where he had Bilal Coulibaly, who draped him all over him like a fucking poncho at the end of it. It was such a bad-looking end-of-game shot, too, that you're like, what the fuck are you doing, Trae? He's like, I'm playing the hero. And you're like, Jalen Johnson's the actual best player on this team now. Just saying. And Dyson Daniels might be the second one. Trae goes, I scored 38 2 games ago, Jim. I'm like, I don't care. Jalen Johnson is a fucking boost. Seriously, he had 29, 12, and 7. Jalen Johnson, he's a fucking weapon. And Dyson, 11, 3, and 3 steals for him. Love that. But for the Wiz, they hit 21 threes. It's pretty handy. That'll win you a lot of games. Kuzma, 25, 11, and 7 in the end. I hit 5 threes, I think. Poole hit 6 of 8. Bloody hell. On his way to 26 and 5. And Corey Kispert, he's going to be this way all season. He's going to pop up and just go, hello, 21 points. It was awesome. As mentioned, Washington first win of the season. They're 1 and 2. Atlanta 2 and 2. Detroit basketball make you earn their games. They are 0 and 4, Detroit. But they will make you work. Miami had to work today to beat them, but beat them they did. They were never really in trouble. Detroit sort of just hung around and made it fucking annoying for them. Heat eventually pulled away in the fourth quarter and I don't know, Detroit fucking came out, gave me a 1-2 Costa Zoo in the third quarter, made it a game. It was awesome. I fucking love Jalen Durant. I'm just saying. He had 10, 11, and 3 blocks? Fuck yes. Give him help. Cade and Ivy. I love it. Cade and Ivy. 24, 8, and 6 for Cade. 18 for Ivy. 20 for Hardaway. And my favorite story of the season so far has been the D Wade statue. My other one has been like Detroit fans realizing that Tobias Harris is shit. It's amazing. They're like, hey, Tobias, it's great to have you here. Can you go get us 14 points? He's like, you got a boss, 4 of 11 shooting. They're like, no, that's not what we said. What the fuck? This is the Tobias Harris experience, Pistons fans. It's the best. You're going to hate it. Miami had 23 and 7 from Butts with 4 steals. He crushed that. Rose had 20-19 for Hero. This is it. If you play the Pistons, you need your backcourt to score the fuck out of the ball, and they did. There you go, Miami 2-1 now. They needed that one. They got it. Denver outlasted Toronto in overtime, 127-125. Had no business winning this game, did Denver? Absolutely no business. They were down 10 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. How'd they win it, Gerald? What the fuck happened here? Well, you see what happened. I'm going to answer my own question. Christian Braun, he hit a 3. Joker hit a couple of shots. Jamal hit a massive, twisty, fucking crazy-ass layup to send it to OT. And then they just gave him the old fucking kick in the nuts. Just Toronto's like, what are we doing? And they got smoked in that overtime. They fought right back at the end of the OT, but it was a little bit too late. Absolute steal in Toronto by Denver. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. What's the other chance? What do they do? Lock her up? Yeah, lock her up. They're fucking lunatics. Scoob, 21, 12, and 9 with 5 steals for the Raps. RJ with 20, 16, and 19 for Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl. Amazing. But Joker had 40, 10, and 4. This time, at least a couple of his other blokes stepped up. Jamal had 17. Brown had 17, 16, 11, and 8 for Aaron Air Gordon. That means Denver get the win. This is the problem. It's cool for Jokic to score 40, but you need the other dudes just to fucking do anything. They didn't the other couple of games. They did this one. And guess what? Denver fucking pulled it out of their ass. 1-3 now, Toronto. 1-2, Denver. Milwaukee. It was Algonquin for the good land for a bit where they're actually beating Boston. Then it was the bad land because they got their ass kicked in the end. 119, 108. And this is just what Boston do. Insane game. Milwaukee fucking completely bottled this. Up 3 at the half, then got steamrolled by Peyton Pritchard. Not a sentence I thought I'd be saying either. The back end of the third quarter for the Celtics just went on this huge run. It was like an 8 straight points, just turned it, boom, they're up 7. And then they just kept going. And this is what makes the Celtics so fucking terrifying, right? Like, you can see the difference between these two teams. Giannis playing out his fucking ass, Dame very, very good as well. Then the Celtics go, how do we stop Giannis? We sort of fucking just wall him off, throw extra bodies at him. And there we go. Tatum was having a shit night, and the rest of the Celtics like, all right, we'll fucking win this game then. It was just, yeah, like Giannis very good, Dame very good, no one else does shit. For the Celtics, Tatum was a bit of a stinker. Jaylen Brown steps up. Peyton Pritchard fucking turns into Ray Allen. Like, it's just fucking on for young and old. 5 of them were just very good. And you're like, that's incredible. So, Milwaukee, 8 of 31 from downtown. 16 turnovers. Doc Rivers losing his mind at the end of the game. Very funny. Giannis, 30, 10, and 6. Shot 14 to 26 in the end. He was crushing it early on. Dame with 33, 7, and 7. Shot 17 of 18 at the free throw line, which is heartening if you're a Bucks fan. You're like, yes, Dame, free throws. That's fucking what you used to do. 34-year-old point guards don't tend to usually sort of, see an uptick in free throws. He needs to keep that constant. But the problem was everybody else. 13 for Brook Lopez, 10 for Gary, Terrence Trent D'Arby Jr. Nothing else. Fucking nothing. For Boston, Tatum, 15 points on 16 shots. Brutal, 1 of 8 from 3. But Jaylen Brown had 30. 21 for Drew Holiday in a revenge game against his old team. 13 and 8 for Derek White. 10 and 5 for above average Al Horford. Oh, and that's right. 28 points for goddamn White Mamba himself, Peyton Pritchard. It was insane. I'm going to talk about him again later, but he went 8 of 12 from downtown. What was that? 8 of 12. How many threes did Milwaukee hit? Oh, that's right. Fucking 8 of 31. He outshot the Bucks himself. It was incredible. It's like the reverse of Buckhunter. That should be his nickname. Peyton Buckhunter Pritchard. But at the same time, his name is Peyton Pritchard, which is fucking sick. So whatever. Anyway, Milwaukee now 1-3, and I'll talk about them again in a sec. Boston 4-0, cruising. Cleveland beat the Knicks 110. What was it? 106. I want to say 104. What a fun-ass game this was. If you're going to go back and watch a game, this is really, really good. You had Brunson versus Garland and Donnie Mitchell. You had Allen versus Cat. Give me a playoff series between these two teams because Donnie Mitchell's like, I could have been on this team, but I chose to be loyal to Cleveland. And everyone's like, no, you didn't. It's because they traded for Bridges and Cat and you were already like, fuck it. Oh, God, they can't fit me anymore. But the Knicks have got such a good balance in that like top six. The problem is they've got nobody else. Whereas the Cavs, they sort of just got it from everywhere, and then Garland had a fucking great game, and boom, they win it. Because they just fucking ruined Jalen Brunson's life in this game. He was smothered. He shot like 8 of 24. Kobe! It's 21-7 though, but 8 of 24. Kobe is brutal. 19-6 for Mikal Bridges. OG with 15. And this is the Karl Anthony Towns we all know and love, isn't it? 13 points, 10 rebounds. Oh, Jim, that's not bad. He took fucking 8 shots. He went 4 of 8. And fouled out. Knicks fans are going to fucking hate Cats so quick. It's going to be awesome. Josh Hart had 16 of 13. Ariel Hukporti, former Melbourne United man, absolutely out there, crushing it. He didn't get his fucking sick dunk counted because there was a foul on the play, but still, he was looking great. For the Cavs, Garland had 34. He was absolutely fantastic in this, especially down the stretch. They look so composed with Donnie Mitchell and Garland, especially when Garland's firing. It's just like, how do you fucking stop him? And the Knicks couldn't. Not yet. 15 and 15 for Allen, 25 for Donnie. Mobley, he was wrecking everything. He had 17 and 8 with 3 blocks as well. Knicks are 1 and 2. Cleveland, 4-0. Houston beat San Antonio. They're up 21. Nearly completely gave up the goose, 106-101. 17 turnovers essentially sort of sank San Antonio down the stretch. It was a 56-44 second half, though, from San Antonio, which was good. But Wemby just couldn't quite get firing against the sort of length of Jabari and Şengün. And Jalen Green was fucking awesome. He had 36. Sohan had 22, 9, and 4 for the Spurs. Wemby had 14 points, 20 rebounds, and 4 blocks with 5 assists. Did you get on with me about Wemby getting a quadruple double? It's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen in the first quarter of the season as well. I'm so excited. CP3, 16 points, 3 assists. It was a weird one. Anyway, 17 and 8 for Jabari. Fred VanVleet had a shit shooting night. He went 4 of 14, but hit a massive 3 right at the end to put him back up 5 and sort of salt this one away. 12, 12, and 5 for Şengün. 2. San Antonio 1 and 2. Houston bounced back after losing to San Antonio and are now 2 and 2. Chicago outlasted Memphis. Bloody hell, there's so many games today. 126-123 by hitting I believe, equal franchise record amount of threes. No Ja Morant. He was out with a hip. Again, I feel like this is a bit of the Ben Simmons, like, he hurt his hip in the preseason. We're just going to keep looking after it. And Chicago hit 25 of 53 from downtown. That'll win you a lot of games. It really will. In general, if you hit 11 more threes than the other team, you'll win it because, they went 14 of 43 to the Grizz. Desmond Bain at 30. 6 of 10 from 3, but it's always weird, like, when they don't have Ja, they obviously had, 2 years ago, they went on that awesome run without Ja. This is not that same team, especially when Marcus Smart has an all-time horrible shooting night, 0 of 11. We're going to talk about that again in a second. That's amazing. Scottie Pippen Jr. How good is that? Oh, speaking of statues, Scottie Pippen. Nobody asked him, but he posted a picture of him and his statue, which actually looks good. And it's like, see, they can be fucking good. Scottie Pippen got a good one. We can do 3D printing. How is that statue so fucking bad? Anyway, 17 for Jake LaRavia. Triple J had 19 and 6 as well. Very handy. But wow, Marcus Smart really fucking killed this team. Levine had 30, 20 for Kobe, 22, 7 and 5 for Vooch for the Bulls. But our boy, Josh Giddey. I'll tell you what's fucking nice and warms your heart. Seeing him out on the court during fucking crunch time. Fuck you, OKC. He's out there. He's hitting his free throw. Well, he hit 2 or 4 free throws down the stretch. That's all he needed to do. Still won the game. I had the tweet ready, locked and ready to go. Of it's just fucking nice to see you out there during crunch time doing good. Send after he hits the second free throw. It's just like, oh, God. Wrote that a little early. Anyway, good job by the Bulls. As I said, enjoy these wins because I don't know how many they're going to be this year. 2 and 2 now. Same with Memphis. Utah put up a fight against Dallas. I told you they would. 102-110. It took Dallas just sort of essentially, Luka couldn't hit a fucking shot. And then he got a couple good go and you're like, oh, there we go. and they salted it away. Utah just fucking hang around like a bad stench. It's like Shaq during Shaq-a-roni season. Sexton with 23. Kessler, 12, 11, and 2 blocks. He's been very handy this year. 17, 5, and 5 for Keontae George. I thought this would be Lowry that shredded against the Mavs. It wasn't. He went 4 of 15 for 17 and 9. And they got 3-11 from Jordan Clarkson. He's going to pop again in a second with 13 points. But really, like, Sexton and Kessler, very, very, very handy. And the Hendricks thing was always going to fuck them up. The Mavs, Kyrie at 23 and 9, 15, 9, and 8, but on 5 of 22 shooting for Luka. Brutal. Clay, though. That's where it all came from. 18 points from him. Very nice. 4-11 from downtown. And 12 and 11 for PJ Hamilton. Washington, Utah. They are still, that's right, winless. Wop, wop, wow. 0-3 for the season now. These Yaz. It's a soft J. The Mavs, 2-1. Then we had a cracking Lakers-Suns game. 105-109. The Suns pull it out. Thanks to KD. And thanks to LeBron sort of not wanting to score. Like in the first half. Like there's an amazing streak of like him in double figures for a million years. He only got to 11 sort of down the stretch, and it was like fucking pretty close run shit. And at the very end of that as well, he purposely missed a second free throw, which looked awesome. He threw it on the underside of the rim. Very cool. But they didn't get the ball. It was like no one else sort of realized it was going to happen. And Nurk is like, oh, me have ball. Very good. And then they salted the game by throwing it to Royce and then to Beal. But I'll tell you what, this Lakers team, if Anthony Davis is just going to stay healthy, this is fucking terrifying. 29, 15, and 3 with 3 blocks. He was awesome. The problem was like, Rui Hachimura had 20 and 10, shot 8 of 18. LeBron going 3 of 14 was actually kind of the hole in the fucking lineup. So a couple of days after he rips off that amazing fourth quarter and saves their ass against the Suns, he wasn't able to do it this time. So 2 of 9 for D'Lo, who shot 5 of 13 overall for his 14 points. Austin Reeves really good too, 23, 8, and 3. The bench gave him quite literally fuck all, 8 points on, I believe, 3 of 10 shooting. Not great, Lakers, not great. For the Suns, though, KD with 30, 33, 3, and 2 for Booker. Very nice. Just need to see more of the point guarding from Booker. Nurk with 2 and 4. Not ideal. But still, 15 for Brad Beal. And Plumlee was very handy sort of filling in. He got 10 rebounds. He got 0 points. It was awesome to watch that one. Big win for the Suns. They're now 3-1. Same as the Lakers. No longer unbeaten. And then finally, Sacramento just went and beat Portland. 111. Was it 98? So they just covered. It was literally a 12.5 point spread that we picked yesterday. Fucking hell. Oh, I reckon it might have been 13.5 when I bet it this morning. Better check that at some point. Oh, why not during the show, Jim? No, I'll do it later. That sucks. Anyway, 13 points, 111.98. Portland were never sort of in this during the second quarter and the third. They just smashed them. Did Sacramento, ran away with it. Do-up, bop, bop, do-up. Got out there for 2 more minutes at the end. This is the problem with all their big dudes. They don't play do-up as much. Whereas Sabonis had 16, 13, and 7, 23 for DeMar DeRozan. They're 24 for Fox. What at 18 as well. They just shot the piss out of it. 45%, 40% from 3. They killed him. The Blazers, just one of those ones where, 3 of 12 for Jeremiah Grant, and it's really going to fuck you up. 7 points for him. 20 for Dominatin with 11 rebounds. 12 for Anthony Penny-Simons, but on 12 shots. Very classic from him. Just Scoot. It was all right, 18 points, but 1 of 2 from downtown. They just need a little bit more from Scoot. Anyway, Blazers dropped to 1-3. Kings 1-2. That's their first win of the season. Happy days. Let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Yeah, it's Paolo because he had 50, and he was awesome. I love Paolo. Everyone, fucking see, I told you Paolo was going to be good. He was the number 1 pick. Of course he was going to be fucking good. But the cool thing was you knew that this is probably the year where it's just going to be that, oh, yes, hang on a second, check this the fuck out. I'm going to be consistently great. And that's exactly what it was. He was so good in that game, like to really, as I said at the top, right, like just to sort of stamp on the throat early and then back it up and actually sort of score some more points down the stretch in that fourth quarter after dropping 37 in the first half. Like, it was absolutely absurd. But to finish with 50, 13, and 9 with 2 blocks, 1 steal, 16 of 26 shooting, 3 and 9 from downtown, 15 of 22 at the free throw line. He left a few there. That was an awesome game. Loved it from him. Spud of the night.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. I tell you what, Trae Young, as mentioned, he had 14 points, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds, though, Jim. Yeah, he shot 2 of 15. Why did Atlanta lose that? Oh, no, because he shot 2 of 15. 1 of 12 for Malik Beasley. Bloody hell. Thing is, he shot 5 shots that weren't threes. He went 1 of 7 from downtown. He missed all of them. Absolutely chaos. Like, to miss all your 2s is pretty good on your Malik Beasley. But the very special one today, he goes on the honor board because this is the worst shooting performance so far this season. Marcus Smart went 0 of 11 today. 0 of 11. At some point, you're probably like 0 of 8. You're like, oh, I should probably stop shooting. Marcus Smart's like, fuck that. I'm going to keep gunning. 0 of 11. Here we come, baby. So I think the worst one we got last year was 0 of 12. Aaron Gordon, Sadiq Bey, Malachi Flynn. We did have the 1 of 18 Sam Hauser, and I believe he started 0 of 11 or something like that. But yeah, 0 of 12. So we've already got a contender right now for worst of the season for Marcus Smart. And I would very much like to thank Jordan Jeremy Clarkson, Calvin Johnson, and Alex Sarr. What did they all shoot? Shield, woo! 311. We can't play more of that or else we get flagged. Love it. There you go. Some 311 spuds. Love them. Hey, 311 are coming out. Did you know that? They're on Good Things. I bought a ticket basically to the entire festival specifically to go see them, which is crazy because I'm old. But at the same time, one of my favorite bands like Mastodon are playing. Fucking a whole bunch of obviously very good bands are on it. But I'm like, Mastodon at 311, I'm there. Like sight unseen. So anyway, pantsing of the night. Once I go back to the figuring out of where I am on the show. No, it's All Mate, No Mates.
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no
Old mate, no
mates.
mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Well, this is a combination. First, we'll go Nikola Jokic. There was a stat before today's game. When he's on the floor, they've got 110.1 offensive rating and a 54.9 offensive rating in the 24 minutes that he sat on the bench. 54. That's like fucked. That's like 2004 fucking Spurs Detroit shit. Russell Westbrook has been in for 22 of those 24 minutes in place of Jokic as well. I think he might be the cause of that, though. So, yeah, not great. So a bit of old mate, no mates there for him, for Jokic. Just get him some mates. He just needs some mates. I'm going to talk about that in Outback Takehouse as well. But the combination of old mate, no mates and pantsing of the night. I think Dwayne Wade is very cool. I think Dwayne Wade is a very good dude. I think it's fucking hilarious that he's just been dunked on consistently for this statue. Like, it is such a pantsing. It's like, no, it is cool. Like, if you have to defend your own statue, it's fucked. Like, it's just simple as that. Like, it's just like, no, it's an artistic representation. It's fucking clearly not Dwayne. What are you talking about? Oh, it's a characterization of the franchise. Well, the franchise has got a fucked face. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, better than Ben Simmons / Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Hey, Lonzo was pretty good today. 6-1-6, not bad. Better than him, though, was Anthony Black. I mentioned him earlier. Huge 3 down the stretch at the end of that game. He ended up with 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals with a block. Very nice. Corey Kispert, 21 points. As I mentioned, he went 4-9 from 3. And I don't know, White Mamba, Peyton fucking Pritchard, 28 points again. He's going to pop up again later in the show. But well, tell you what, all better than Lonzo Ball. Quick break. Back with some yeah-nahs right after, let's say, this one.
This is Cam Glidden. This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, there you go. Love a bit of house hats. Let's do some yeah-nahs, very quick ones as well. The stats boy sent in one. He just messaged me. He's like, Jim, Peyton Pritchard's going off. Is Pritchard a sneaky chance for sixth man of the year? Yeah, nah, yes. A, he's in Boston. B, he's white. I love that. In Boston. But because of that, he's going to get shit tons of publicity. And I think Boston, like, this is my entire point, as I'm going to hit on a couple of sort of more team-specific ones. Boston are that fucking good. He's going to play a shit ton this year. Like, they're killing fucking teams. Their offensive ratings are already 126.1. That's absurd. So what it means is you'll see plenty of Peyton Pritchard, because if they're kicking the fuck out of teams, they're like, off you go, Peyton. Just keep hitting shots. And he's like, well, not a problem. Rah! And off he goes. So if you think about the other sort of chances like Naz Reid, Malik Monk, stuff like that, I think Peyton Pritchard has a really good chance at it just because he'll be out there fuck tons, getting plenty of minutes. The thing is, at least Malik Monk and Naz Reid are probably better players overall, but Peyton Pritchard, he's going to get to play. Other Bucks in trouble? Yeah, nah, it's the start of, like, as I mentioned the other day, we sort of want to give it a couple of weeks, but 1 and 3, where you just sort of don't you look very competitive for a half against Boston, and then they just kick the fuck out of you. I'm already worried. I was pre-worried going into this season where I'm like, if Philly are healthy, the Knicks are healthy, and obviously Boston, like, they're fucking far way ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks. If their defense doesn't kick into gear, and it hasn't yet, and it probably won't for a couple of weeks. Just saying, keep an eye on how in trouble they are. Hey, but the next one is, are the Cavs legit? Yeah, nah, yes. Their offensive rating's already through the roof, 122.3. But defensively, they're already top 4 as well, 106. As I mentioned on yesterday's show, they're kicking the fuck out of teams, and then they turn around and went toe-to-toe with the Knicks at MSG and just sort of fucking handled them. It was pretty cool. Like, they never took a step back. They've got different looks they can throw at you. They just look fucking terrifying at times when they've got Mobley, Allen. They've got, like, if Garland and Mitchell are on, they're just fucking hard to beat. It's simple as that. So they are definitely legit. Unpopular opinion of the day. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Look, the unpopular opinion is the Simmons stuff is fine. And I do want to fucking give him some time to sort of get his shit sorted, get his back feeling all right. And I mean, it's the same thing of like, Ja Morant, etc. But yeah, don't fuck with backs. Let him do his thing. I don't want to go too hard for like 4 to 6 weeks. Just let him fucking get into the groove. In 6 weeks, if he's still shit, at some point you go, I just think you're shit. But rehab sucks. He's going to be like, maybe he'll, like, the stat lines have been fucking shit. We've all seen that. We did the fouls versus made field goals yesterday. It's not great. But once he's back and fully healthy, there are still some flashes there, though, every so often. There's also the flashes of absolute cowardice like we got yesterday, but it's all right. Finally, bit of Outback bloody Takehouse. It's Tuesday at Outback, and you know what that means? Deep fried echidna Tuesdays. That's right. Deep fried echidna, it's basically what it is. It comes with its own serving, like, little toothpick. It's just its spine, you see. So you fucking dip her in the big deep fryer and just fucking breaks apart. It is bloody delicious, and it's only at Outback for a limited time only. And today's flame grilled take is the Denver Nuggets window's already closed. We just haven't realised it yet. This is one I was thinking about before that Toronto game today. I'd actually written it down. Then I'm watching them play, and I'm like, nailed it. And then, of course, they ended up winning. But it's weird because you don't often see teams who are contenders have like those weird runs where they build and build and build and build, and then it sort of, you know, it peaks when they win a title, and then they drop down again, they drop down. They don't often then build back up. It's weird, but that's how it goes. Like, that's why the Golden State 2022 title was so fucking impressive. It was also a bit of a fucking fluke, but that's fine. But it is weird. And Denver, however, like, injuries to Jamal in 2021, that fucked them up. 2022 was Jamal and Michael Porter Jr. They win the title in 23. Last year, they sort of got handled. You're like, ooh, watch out. And you just get to a point where Jamal should be at his peak, but he's sort of always banged up. Michael Porter Jr., he just needs to take that step for them to stay relevant and stay actual contenders. That's what they paid him the max for. Is he that dude? He gives you something every so often, but the problem is they sort of price themselves out of contendership, right? Because of the cheapness of their owners, the Cronkies and co. They're like, fuck it, we don't need like Bruce Brown or Hefe Green. We've got Russell Westbrook. And he's like, I'm going to fucking kill our team. And everyone's like, oh, yeah. Thanks, Russell. Fuck. Anyway, just saying. Denver might be cooked. Just keep an eye on it. Right, let's go straight into the Australian Player Watch. Josh Giddey. Really fun game today. 12, 13, and 8. 4 of 10 shooting from the floor. 2 of 4 from 3. 2 of 4 at the free throw line as well. A steal and a block. He had some sick passes in that game. Look, Chicago are just now appointment viewing, even though they're kind of shit, because Giddey will just do like 3 things every game. You're like, what the fuck was that? That was awesome. Anyway, no Furphy today for the Pacers, but, get that on the big jobs against Orlando. Yeah, they've got like Shepherd, Benny Mathurin, TJ, Jarris Walker out there for 2 minutes as well. He sat down very quickly, though. I'd say he had 2,000 a turnover. Could have been up there for Spud of the night. But Furf's no good. No good. He just didn't play. Dyson Daniels in that loss to Washington, 11 points, 4 of 9 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 and 2 at the line, 3 rebounds, an assist, and 3 steals. Absolute weapon. Paddy Thrills got 10 minutes against Dallas. He went 0 of 2 from the floor, 0 of 1 from 3. 2 assists and a steal, though. Paddy Thrills, love that. And the Rooster, Jock Landale, did not play against the San Antonio Banderas Spurs, his old team. But Jim, he kicked their ass the other day. Yep, but now Steven Adams is back. Oh, bro, it's good to be playing against the San Antonio Banderas Spurs, eh? I really like Coach Pop. They're very fun. It's very nice. So, yeah, Jock just, they ran Steven out there for 12 minutes. He enjoyed it. Jock misses out. Bit of a tough one. And that was it. All right, the Shane Hill shoot your shot, light 'em up award. I don't believe we have that drop on here. Just quickly have a look. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Anyway, Peyton Pritchard. I told you I'd bring him back up. 8 of 12 from 3. As mentioned, that's as many threes as the Milwaukee Bucks hit today. But he also tied the Celtics franchise record for threes off the bench because he fucking hit 8. That's so many, it's ridiculous. Off the bench to hit 8 threes is absurd. 28 points. He went 10 of 14 from the floor. 8 of 12 from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. But on top of that, he hit another quarter-ending buzzer beater, which is, he's a specialist at it. It was absolutely, like, everybody was ready for it except for the opposition. At some point, you go, hang on a second, that little white dude's probably going to hit this. Fuck, he's done it again. He's made 20 of 33 from the field this year and 18 of 29 from 3. That's just fucking stupid. Absolute Shane Hill territories. He's got to be the Shane Heels about him. We should fucking peroxide his hair. That'll make Peyton Pritchard look sick. All right, the Paddy Mills Game Day Ball, Game Day Twitter check-in. Let's do it. Jim, is this where you just look at Instagram and see what Paddy Mills has been up to? Yes, that's the segment. I'm an ideas man, Jim. Here we go. Anything from Paddy? Nah, nothing on top of yesterday with the sick, awesome. I was talking about this on yesterday's show, producer Jared, about those cool jackets where it has all the logos from all the teams, including the Western Conference logo and the Eastern Conference logo. They're the coolest jacket in the world. Unfortunately, because I'm not like a 48-year-old black dude who goes like all the Brooklyn Nets games, which is like the dude that used to sit near us in Brooklyn, I can't pull it off because I could just never be as cool as that dude. So I just feel fucking lame. It's a bit shit, but anyway, get down to the big jobs. What else we got? I think we're Josh Green. Yes, there we go. Josh Green did a post. He's carrying his shoes. He's got a Louis Vuitton little fucking carry bag. And he's wearing Earls. That's a good shirt. I like that one. I love a bit of Josh Greeny Green. Not bad. All right. So, in the end, I better actually have a look at these picks. What do we go today? We nailed Phoenix in the end. We got that Sacramento-Portland one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of 11 we went today. Against the line. That is bloody good, I'll tell you what. So 8 of 11, that means we're at 31 to 21 for the season out of the 52 games. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's do tomorrow then. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, today's just been fucking hectic, but she'll be right. 4 games tomorrow. We have Denver at Brooklyn. Denver on a back-to-back traveling. Brooklyn, shit. Denver are 5.5-point favorites in Brooklyn. Always a weird one. So, 6 years of Nets tickets? Yeah, 6 years were there. 6 years of season tickets for the Nets. Anytime a Western Conference team like a Denver or a Utah that isn't like one of the massive ones like LA or some shit, it was always fun because they'd fucking pack out with like random folks from like Colorado or Utah or some shit. And they were great. I think Denver win this one and win it kind of handily. This is like, I don't know. I might want to even check the line on this. Because, I don't know, defensively I feel like they can slow down Cam Thomas. The only problem is on a back-to-back early in the season, maybe Denver want to like spare a little bit of Joker. They're only coming down from Toronto. Whew, that's a tricky one. Let us say, let's just check that line and see if it's still at 5.5. It is, let's say Brooklyn plus 5.5, but Denver win. Very similar to the Toronto one today. Because Toronto aren't that good. They are better than Brooklyn, however. But I reckon on a back-to-back, they might just sort of go, Jokic, MPJ, Jamal, just chill the fuck out. Denver might still kill them, but I'll just go on the side of caution. Brooklyn, talk about hierarchies. That's what we keep doing on NBA Straya this year. No Ben Simmons. It's going to be the Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas show. Let's go the Nets plus 5.5. Minnesota, they host the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs on a back-to-back as well. I think the Wolves will be a little bit too big with Randall and Rudy Gobert and stuff like that were. And Ant-Man causing all sorts of havoc. 4.5-point favorites are the Wolves. Now, you might remember Dallas beat them in the Western Conference Finals last year, didn't they? Yes, Jim, they did. I think the Wolves a little bit better balanced without Cat there. And I think they'll be a little bit too good. Dallas were very scrappy today. So give me the Wolves. Then we have Utah hosting Sacramento, both on back-to-backs, as mentioned, because they both played today. The Jazz are 5.5-point underdogs against the Kings. I am taking the Jazz in a heartbeat. Like, they need to win. Will Hardy's going to be like, fuck this, boys. We need to win a game. So they'll keep this one close. And then finally, New Orleans Pelicans. Are they going to be the Pelicans or the Pelicans against the Golden State Warriors? It's a weird one. Warriors are 3.5-point underdogs at home. Why is that? Well, they've got no Steph Curry. It's pretty important. He's pretty good. I'm going to go the Pels minus 3.5. The big rig Zion. I don't know. Zion versus Draymond should be pretty fun. But it's more about like Spindles, Ingram, Zion obviously as well, but like CJ, etc. That'd just be a little bit too good, I reckon, the Pelicans. So there you go. That's a fun 4 games though, isn't it? So better strap in because we'll be back to wrap them all up tomorrow. Now, how'd we go for pace, do you reckon, Producer Gerald? Did we actually go any quicker? I don't know if we did. Maybe a little bit. But that's all good. We'll be back tomorrow with a proper big show. We're going to wrap up. Well, we're going to set up every team, all 30 teams. We're going to go through and see how their first week's gone. Basically, give them I don't know if we'll give them a pass or fail grade or whatever, but we'll talk out every team, essentially, and see how that first week, essentially put a bow on the first week of the NBA season. So that'll be a fun one. So make sure you're following us on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. You can see all the stuff that Producer Gerald does. It's very good. It looks awesome. So, yeah, go subscribe to that, comment, all that sort of shit. Check out NFL Straya with myself and Gaz. I'm literally about to tape that as well. Your mate Jim's going to be all talked out. I don't think that's actually possible. Should be right. Me and Gaz, though, it's always fun. Go subscribe to that. Get a ride around as well as all the other shows. We've got the AFLW Today show. We've got Football Today podcast, the Cricket Today podcast. The boys are back with that. Big summer ahead for the Aussies. It'll be very fun. What else? Hold all tickets. Yeah, that's good. Check them all out, or I'll fight you. Rate and review all of the shows, of course, on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, whatever weird Android apps you do use. If you haven't starred, subscribed, fucking written a comment and all that sort of shit, you're taking the piss. Come on. I'm out here working hard. Yo, geez, you sped through that show. Fuck off. Come on, man. It's 11 games. Everyone just chill. Just get around me. Anyway, big thanks always go to... From Oslo for the intro and outro song, but also to House Hatch, Joshua Del Rentis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sex Today, and Green, as well as Dozers for all the tunes you hear throughout the show. They're awesome. They're all Aussies. Smash them wherever you smash your tunes. NBA Straya supports Australian bands. So should you. And that's it. I got to fuck off and go tape NFL Straya. So we will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads, for a big week 1 wrap of the NBA season. Should be a cracker. Looking forward to that. Also got to tape the NBL show. When the fuck am I going to... Anyway, should be right. This is NBA Straya saying, look out for yourselves, would you? And let us know.